Welcome to PrinnyCast Roundtable for January 30th, 2015. We're a casual weekly show where we, used to talk about what we've been up to and the various gaming-related stuff over the last week. But we've been talking about making some changes around here, and I think some of them are going to actually start today. Some of them are minor, some of them are major, but we've noticed that we've kind of hit a little bit of stagnation because we keep talking about the same games over and over because we haven't been playing as much as we used to, even just from 6 months ago. But that's for later. We're your hosts. I'm Chris. This is Grover.
Hello.
This is Mike.
Hello.
And yes, Edna is still indeed directing us through text messages down there. I'd call it less directing than it is more commentating and abuse, yes. I think you're running out of PG-rated names to call me at this point. Meanwhile, what have we been playing this week, Mike?
Not really anything except for WoW. I actually did stream my raid Thursday, but I forgot to make it to where it archives my stream before I did that, so you won't be able to watch it. But our guild finally killed Heroic Imperator, which is the very last boss of this raid tier. It's only Heroic, not Mythic, which was the new old difficulty that they put in. We just don't have enough people to run Mythic, so. But we've had the rest of the place on farm for weeks now, and Heroic Imperator was the only one we couldn't kill, and we finally did it, so we're pretty happy about that.
You completed the whole set.
Yeah. Other than that, I played a little bit of Diablo 3. I played some Hearthstone, not because I'm really enjoying the game, but I just want to make sure that I don't miss a month of getting the special card back that you get every month.
And run out of time for that one.
Yeah. Well, I finally got my my last win right before we started recording, so I won't have to play it tomorrow or for the rest of the night. I probably just need to change up my deck a little bit to make it more fun, but it doesn't help that I'm just not really that good at this game. I can't get my head around it, but yeah, other than, the Blizzard stuff, I haven't really played too much new. It's been kind of, like you said, stagnant. I pretty much play the same games, although start looking for my stream. I did finally check the box to make sure that it archives, and I have a device that will allow me to hook up consoles that use the old AV system, the red, white, blue, American flag, the red, white, yellow cables into my computer, so I'll be able to stream stuff from Nintendo all the way up to PlayStation 2.
Fantastic.
Xbox 360 and beyond, all used component.
What have you been playing, Grover?
I actually just bought Balloons 5 for Steam, which is a non-web browser version, which has fantastic reviews. I've never seen reviews like this for a game. I'm seeing like 2,000 reviews and none are negative. That's unusual for a game. Yeah, it's very unusual.
Said I think it was last week that they're one of the best tower defense game makers there is.
They are. The way they do their tower defense. There's other ones that are really good too, but so far you can rely on Ninja Kiwi most of the time. I don't always agree with what they do, but they're good at what they do. Then I played Clash of Clans as usual. I upgraded my townhouse finally. That took 6 days, and then I started. Now I'm in the higher tier, and I started upgrading other stuff. And I think it's taken 3 days for the stuff I'm doing right now. I literally can do nothing right now, so it doesn't. I think I'm much stronger. Stuff shouldn't be able to kick my ass anymore. Wrong. Getting my face. Logging into my village completely annihilated every other day, so it's just like, okay, just get used to that until you're very, very strong. Then for some weird reason, and by pure coincidence, by pure luck, I just thought about playing Guild Wars. I think it's because I was hearing about the expansion for Guild Wars 2. So I was trying to log into Guild Wars and I couldn't. There was something wrong. And that's when I saw that Guild Wars 2 was $10. And I was like, oh, that's a steal. So I got that. Thanks to no borrow the money, so I had money to pay him back. So I was like, of course I couldn't get anybody else to get it. I was just like, it's $10, anybody, please. Just play together, and they didn't want to. It's like, that sucks. So I got Guild Wars 2, and Guild Wars 2 is kind of like basically the MMO I've been waiting for. I don't have to pay to play, so I can just run around and do my stuff. And every area is an instance, so it's just you and by yourself. There's people running around with you. It's like Final Fantasy 14, literally, no joke when it comes to that. And it's got all the stuff like this in WoW, where, Mike, didn't you say you didn't like when you died in Final Fantasy, it always took you back to a town or your point where you last favorited?
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
In Guild Wars, you don't go into the netherworld to go, run back to your body, but it does tell you you're dead, where do you want to go? And you can go to somewhere that's like one of the save points in the current area. And there's like 40 of them per area, so you'll go like 20 steps from where you were at. So that was cool. And then just yesterday, they're like, there's nothing wrong with your Guild Wars account. You need to mention another name of one of your characters. Do you know them? And I was like, yeah. And there's one character in my game that I always have, Zane Incarnate. So I knew that immediately. Used that and logged in and got slammed with birthday gifts on all my accounts. And then the letter of Guild Wars saying, all support for Guild Wars 1 is now gone. You're on your own. Good luck if you have something wrong other than you can't log in. We'll still work on that. So that was kind of sad. But the game still has about 5,000 players, although PvE is completely and utterly dead. You play with bots because you are not going to find anybody to play with you. PvP is still very active. I was watching people play, like, I can't believe they're still playing this. But yeah. Then I played Monkey City, and that's getting like Clash of Clans upgrades are taking longer and longer. And I'm reaching the tiers now where the Moabs are no longer dangerous, but still hard because Monkey City is not like Bloons 5. It likes to kick your ass, and it does it constantly on higher levels. Plus, the PvP gets crazy too, because PvP has no rounds. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. Like, there is no round. It just keeps going and going. And they could be dicks if they're really super high leveled. You'll start playing on your first round, there'll be a Zone G, which is the strongest balloon in the game. It's just like, are you serious? How am I going to beat this? And the fact is, you can't. That's the point. They're way stronger than you. So yeah, and that's that. That's all I played. Just bunch of a couple games. And Guild Wars 2.
Where am I at? My games. The usual stuff like Tynan and the Congregate games, which really amounts to that Crystal Dungeon 2 thing, which I'm still not getting the name right, and Inferno Legend, of course. Second Life, I haven't been doing a whole heck of a lot in there this week, making money, but even that I'm not focusing too terrible much. The majority of what's happened there is one of the places I like to go to make my money is actually almost everybody in that zone is a nationality of Thailand, and a lot of them are wanting to learn English. So I've been an English teacher all week.
Wow. That's awesome.
Thankfully, they are really good at their English, though. I always have big respect for people that learn multiple languages.
I've seen that too, when they're like, I apologize, my English is bad, and I'm like, dude, this is your second language? I apologize, my English is pretty bad. And they're like, dude, I couldn't even tell you English that you had it's your second language.
Yeah, there was a Brazilian I was talking to. You wouldn't know he wasn't from like Texas or something.
Yeah, like TeamSpeak too. They're just like, I'm sorry, my English is bad. Like, dude, you are speaking fluent English.
But at the same time, I know there's a lot of people out there that are very negative to anybody that talks even the slightest bit strange or off or speak English or get out sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so
with a person with speech impediment, I can understand that shit.
Yeah.
It's funny because people apologize for their bad English, and I'm like, no, I apologize because my English is bad.
This is my only language, and you say it way better than me. Holy cow.
But other than that, it's been a little bit of Smash Brothers and some of the new games that's been trickling in from one of the bundles I got. It was one of those mystery bundles. One of them was called Super Cyborg, which could not be more of a homage to old school NES Contra if it tried. It even uses some of the same sound effects, but in a good way. It feels like I'm playing a Contra game, so that's awesome. Really cool, actually. Also got one called Monsters and Medicine that I tried out for some reason. I think it's just because it was 15 meg, and I'm trying to cut down on what's on my hard drive right now. Monsters and Medicine is kind of like you have these sick monsters that show up and you have to build rooms for them to heal them, and they're queuing up over here in the corner, and if you can't get enough of them healed, they start dying. So it's kind of a cross between some sort of really light city builder, because you have to map out where your road is going to go and where the rooms are going and where your bonus things are going, and keeping these monsters alive. It's an interesting concept because most of these little puzzle games I get from these bundles are just the same old stuff that somebody else has done before. This is new.
That sounds like a reverse Revenge of the Titans.
I never did play that.
It's a game that'll make you punch the wall.
Okay, maybe I should stay away from it. Give it to Prinny instead.
The fact that it's just yes, get Prinny to play that game. He will explode without question.
Anyway, it was an interesting little diversion. The problem with it is the monsters that show up are completely random, so you cannot plan for any inevitability, and that means for some very difficult games sometimes. And speaking of healing things in hospitals, and Theme Hospital is free on Origin right now, if anybody wants to pick up some old school strategy simulator type stuff with a lot of goofy humor. It was one of the last of the Bullfrog games that was worth anything before they turned into Lionhead Studios, I think. Can't remember exactly what happened to Bullfrog. They half died and they got bought up and taken apart, and they got Atari'd is what happened to them. So not a lot in the game news this week too, which is kind of good because there's been a lot of really horrible things lately, but there's actually been some good stuff that's come out of the Gamergate news lately, even though Intel is doing some unfortunate things by throwing lots of money to people in apology for them pulling on their ads for Gawker. Not only are they back on Gawker, that they're actually funding people like Anita Sarkeesian now, so I'm just kind of facepalming to that. However, I believe it was IGN. I do not have my notes, but IGN has rewritten their ethics guidelines, and about 5 people left at the same time. And these were 5 very bad people to have in the industry. So if anybody is still doubting that this is a thing yet, I think we're finally seeing some more good progress. But for the actual news, Ermac and Reptile were both revealed for Mortal Kombat X that's coming out in spring. There was this Blizzard leak, but I don't know how big of a deal it was. Mike hadn't heard about it, so he usually keeps up with this stuff pretty good. And apparently, some reports, including some places like Yahoo News, which this is not exactly a place you get your news from. I'm sorry, people.
Well, Google thinks so.
But there was some leaks that involve stuff like the next StarCraft 2 installment is ready to go, which I'm surprised has not been out yet. What's the delay on that? And then they're having supposedly so low expectations for Here of the Storm. The insider said that the senior staff was going to be laid off of the team. And keep in mind, this is the MOBA for basically the Blizzard characters coming together for a free-for-all. And it said the Diablo 3 team was being removed to work on a project that was set in the StarCraft universe. It was supposed to be kind of similar to Warframe, of all things. Kind of a cross between like Left 4 Dead and League of Legends or something like that. Which sounds a lot like Overwatch, which is confusing. And of course, there's some other news here too, like the Hearthstone's supposed to have an expansion pack in April. And Blizzard's pretty much saying this is all brouhaha. So
I'm going to have to agree.
It's just unusual that the major some news networks would pick it up as an actual story and not just a leak to, we should probably not be paying attention to this. They don't usually do that.
The thing is that you can look at the Hearthstone and pretty much throw it out as false. Magic the Gathering may be releasing expansions every, 4 or 5 months, but...
Oh, that's guaranteed usually, but not...
Yeah, Hearthstone hasn't done that, so...
Mm-hmm. And then there's yet another reason for an anime-loving, fighting game-adoring fellow like myself to get a PS3. This list of reasons to get a PS3 is just really stacking up. Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax is actually coming to the United States. This is right after the J-Star's Victory thing. That is 2 games I would have never thought to come to the United States because of all the licensing agreements involved, is coming to the PS3 and Vita. And this is the 2D anime fighting game that involves characters from video game stuff like Valkyria Chronicles and Virtua Fighter, but also a lot of big-name anime like Shokugan no Shana and, of course, Sword Art Online. So, yeah, I'm always for big crossovers like that.
I understood Sword Art Online. Well, I did
very well.
As we've been doing the show, I've been browsing around on the Steam store just to see if I've missed anything, and I noticed that Hyperdimension Neptunia has a Steam release, and it's 50% off right now, so I went ahead and got it.
Oh, there you go.
You're going to hate the game, but you're probably going to love all the stupid jokes, too. I knew that they were going to have more and more games on Steam, and I'm loving it. Thank you, Japan. Thank you for adopting PC even more. I think I can blame Sega buying Atlas for some of that, but not all of it. So, a little change of pace. We're going to start talking about other things than just video games from now on, largely because of this stagnation we're having and because the Gamergate stuff, but unfortunately it doesn't...
All the other ones do it.
Not just stuck in gaming, unfortunately, as I'm about to get into, but I'll try to keep the politics down a little bit. But, comic books and movies and TV shows and whatever else, it'll probably still be kind of geek-related, but I have no idea where it's going to take us. We'll be all over the place, so... And I hope that actually is a good thing and not a bad thing, because I know if you start bringing up too many different topics, people are going to get lost, especially with people that don't get into these particular subjects. But at the same time, this might pull more people in for other reasons that I should shut up now. Yeah.
Right.